So Forest officially submit their second bid for Read from Feyenoord, and I want this guy. Welcome to your transfer news. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up, I'll talk you through the latest bid on Read from Feyenoord, the right back who I think is going to be next level. I'll give you a quick Bergvall update as there is a little few quotes coming from the manager there at Spurs. So make sure you've liked, make sure you've subscribed, and big up to you guys for all your kind messages on my weight loss journey so far. How am I looking, chat? How am I looking? Am I looking a little thinner? And don't forget, you can join me on the journey if you want to get involved. I'm using these supplement pills from Oxford Natural. You can get them now, 70% off your first order with code FFTV. And they're working like a treat. Obviously not magic bullets. I'm still doing the exercise and everything else. And I'm catching up my mate Robbie. Like, look how he's looking all slim and pucker and stuff. So check him out, scan the QR code. All right, let's jump into the news because there's been an update from Romano. He's taken to his social medias and he has said Nottingham Forest submit a second offer for Read as new right back from Feyenoord. Understood the proposal is worth 20 million euros package with player open for the move. Of course he is. Personal terms are not an issue. Deal underway. Now, just to bring you guys back up to speed, Forest submitted an initial bid of 17.5 million euros about a week ago. And I told you at the time, if you remember back to last week's video, that even though that got rejected, it was expected that Forest are going to go in with a second offer as well. I heard it was going to be 20 million euros, but some people were saying it needs to be 25 million euros for Feyenoord to accept it. Well, it looks like it's going to be 20 million euros if you believe what Romano is tweeting. And if Feyenoord agree to that, we have robbed them blind because I see so much potential in this 20-year-old. He plays right back, can kind of play left back, but he is, for me, the definition of what you want, or what Glasner would want in his wing back. I know he's predominantly a fullback, but he can play wing back as well. I still stand, though, that my biggest concern was that hamstring injury he had, where, if you remember back to what I told you last time, he was out for a few months, came back, and then literally ripped it again and was out for a further 3 months from, I think it was January last year, if I remember rightly. So that in itself is a concern, but obviously the medical team will do their medical thing if we get to that stage. And for 20 million euros, honestly, bargain. Now, this is a player who was also, just give you a few more bits and bobs on him, he was wanted heavily by Bayern Munich and by Man City about 6 or so months ago, but then the injury happened and their interest in him has kind of cooled off. And this is why kind of Forest are just like sneaking in and being like, okay, no one's going for Fletcher Read. All right, I hear it. Let's go get him. And I said last week, Forest need to move fast on this one before everyone else gets alerted because I think he works well. But what does it mean for Ola Aina? I know we spoke about it on the previous video, but I've been watching Ola Aina closely on the preseason friendly matches. And I think he looks okay. I still just worry about his stamina levels and the work rate and workload that's going to be expected on him in a Glasner system. So at the very least, I think he needs some very good competition. I think Eric Da Silva was looking quite good when he came in there. But I'm just not against more competition for places. Obviously, Ola Aina is my favourite Forest player currently, but I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up another injury this season. He seems like he keeps breaking down once or twice a season. We saw it last year. We saw it the season before. It's something that is concerning, and it's better we have the strength in depth to start with than just suddenly, do what we did last year where Zach Abbott was being shoved out at right back. We saw sometimes Jair Cunha playing at right back. Just all these kind of hybrid makeshift positions just to cover for Ola Aina's injury. And in the long term, it did cost us because we were depleted towards the end of the season, especially when it came to the semi-finals in the Europa League. So I think this is smart business, and I think it's a bargain. I would even go 25. I would pay 30 million euros for him. I think he is that good as long as the injury holds up. Because what's so good about him is the fact that he wants to attack. He's an attacking fullback. And I think my favourite trait for him is he's not a cross spammer. What I mean by that is every time he goes to cross the ball into the box, it's not blind. You'll always notice, and if he does join, watch him. When he gets towards that, the final third there, first thing he does is get his head up, looks around, and he's accurate with his crosses. He can do the low cross, he can do the high cross, and they're usually quite accurate. Will he work in the Premier League? I think so. So this one is getting close. We've still got the Diomande stuff. Nothing's really come forward at the time of recording from this. I am still expecting a here we go around the 40 million euros mark for that one. So just keep an eye on the channel and we'll keep you posted. Obviously on the socials as well. Check them all out. They're in the description. But let's move on and talk about Bergvall, because there has been a couple of little snippets that I want to bring to you. So De Zerbi was asked about Bergvall, and I'll just give you some of the quotes. He says, "Listen, I am very clear at the start of my time at Tottenham. I said, who doesn't want to stay in Tottenham? Who is not happy, is not proud to stay here, has to leave." Newsflash, mate, that's probably every single player. "I want proud players who are happy to stay here and go on the pitch to Tottenham Stadium, 3-Point Lane Stadium, with a big motivation. If you think also in the World Cup, the motivation makes a difference. The motivation is to be happy to stay in one team." No idea what that means. Anyway, he goes on to talk about Lucas specifically. He says, "I have not spoken with Lucas yet. I will in the next days, and we will make the best decision for the club, for Lucas, for me, for every one of us. Without problems, Lucas is a big, big talent. There will be big competition to play because at the end, I think we will be 2 players for each position. If he wants to stay, I will be happy. Otherwise, we have to find a new solution with Johan Lang, or whatever his name is." So I think that's a massive indicator there, especially in the last 2 sentences of it, that Bergvall is probably going to leave Spurs. I think Bergvall doesn't want to be seen as second choice or having to fight for a place and what have you. And also, no doubt he's not proud to play at Spurs. And De Zerbi says he doesn't want players like that. He's going to have a massive problem. So I think Bergvall will probably leave. Now, does that necessitate that he goes to Forest? Not really, because there seems to be a lot of interest in him. I'm seeing clubs like Newcastle heavily interested potentially in him. Spurs offered him out to there. There's some European clubs that are interested in him as well. And it's no secret that Forest are as well. I still think Forest are trying to push heavily to get Bergvall over the line. Personal terms are not a problem between Forest and Bergvall because Forest are a bigger club than Spurs. So it would just be about agreeing fees. But I don't like where the fees on this are going. We started off at 30, 40 million and now it's got to 50 and now it's going north of 50. Spurs are trying to milk every single penny out of whoever gets Bergvall as they can. Hence why you saw them offering him out to Newcastle. So no real developments from the Forest side, but I think a big hint there from De Zerbi that Bergvall's probably want to go, and it's been kind of public knowledge that Bergvall is looking to leave Spurs. So we'll see how that one develops as well. But that brings you up to date with your Forest news. Get all your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you've liked and subscribed and go check out Oxford Natural, code FFTV for 70% off. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.